I am going to take the beginning for my boss, Iri, and I'll get her to join when it's going to get down to business. So basically, I just want to have a rundown for people that couldn't join us on is it Wednesday last week. Just so you know, it's A Plus Fashion Academy, and we are powering the Emerge Fashion Challenge. So, who are we? A Plus Fashion Agency is a fashion business management, apparel production agency, and a fashion academy that helps fashion entrepreneurs start and launch a successful fashion brand. We are committed to raising interns who will be empowered with needed skills to nurture ideas, dream, and translate them into groundbreaking concepts, which would make them leaders in their field. This is my boss, Iroluwa Shoiton. She's the founder of A Plus Fashion Academy, and she is dedicated to fostering growth in fashion businesses and empowering fashion entrepreneurs with technical skills. She is dedicated to raise 1,000 entrepreneurs from the Niger Delta, southern parts of Nigeria between now and the year 2025. So the Emerge Fashion Initiative is an incubator program that is set to birth generation of African fashion designers like you guys and turn you guys into international brand moguls. So just a little bit about the digital training and the fashion training that Emerge is offering. So we are going to be covering a number of things. The first thing we are covering is pattern making and garment construction. For those whose business idea revolves around making fashion product that needs pattern. Yeah, and then we also want to consider fashion tech for those people that are offering technical solutions or ICT solutions to the existing fashion problems that we have currently in the industry. Then, of course, business of fashion is general to everyone. Both people that are using patterns and people in the tech. And then we have illustration and fashion design, which will teach you the creative side of fashion and how to draw fashion figures. Then we have portfolio and lookbook. You know, we are hopeful that when you go through the entire Emerge Initiative program, you should be able to develop a lookbook and a portfolio that would represent your brand very well. We're also going to be looking at merchandising and social media because we understand the place of we understand the place of the social media marketplace to boost our products and services globally. We also will be looking at e-commerce and digital marketing. We'll be looking at fashion branding and marketing strategy. We'll also be looking at PR and digital runway. All of these models is what we want to achieve at the end of the Emerge Fashion Initiative. We expect that at the end of this training, you guys will be grounded in all of this. We went through this on Wednesday for those that were there. I don't think it's necessary at this point. So this is the flow of the entire Emerge Fashion Initiative. Of course, you guys had uploaded your various videos in August. The training is set to start this September. Then there'll be further screening and selection in November. You guys will go into developing your products and sale in November. We're going to give out awards in December. And then the post-training activities like the setting up of the various e-commerce platforms um, the mentorship, the incubation, all of that will happen from December 2020 to March 2021. And this is where my post starts. Ma, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. So good evening, everyone. Let me just say, you guys just say hello if you're with us. I just wanted to drop hello, 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 hello to let us know that you're hearing and you can see the screen clearly. Let's just do like a quick check. So can we get the hello, hello, hello? I just want to even see those who are in the class now, and then we can go on. Okay, so we can also do a bit of a check. Okay, fantastic. All right, great, great, great. Okay, so are those all the hellos we get? Okay, so basically, Harry has gone through what Emerge is all about, and I'm sure that at the orientation you already got a bit of a brief and what we're going to be doing all through the Emerge initiative. The goal for us isn't just to train you, but to get you guys to start a business that is going to be sustainable. I believe strongly that this is a big opportunity for quite a lot of you. And for us, the goal is to get you to start businesses that can scale easily and that sells globally. So it's not about making the most fanciful outfits, like it is about making outfits or products that will sell easily and help your business grow. Sometimes it's not about how glamorous it is. But at the end of the day, your question is, do I want to be glamorous? And I'm not bankable, or do I want to be bankable? Yes, I have a good product out there, and my product can sustain itself. I'm not going to struggle. So, which is why we created Emerge to be focused on it. And one of the things we want to achieve for Emerge is that we don't just want you to just start another fashion business. We want to make sure that your fashion business is solving a problem. And that's what Neat is all about. We want to be sure that the fashion business is solving a big problem, is solving a problem. Oh, okay. So someone says the sound is not clear. Can you guys hear me? Is it that it's not clear on her part, or it's not clear to everyone? If it's clear to you, please let me know. Mary says the sound is not clear. Oh, it's not clear. Oh, I don't think she says it's not clear. Okay, okay, okay. So let me see if I can try something and see if it's clear. Let me know if it gets better now. So is it clear now? Is the audio clear now?
Yes, it's better now.
Is it better now? Okay, they say it's still not clear. Is it clear now? Can you
Yes,
guys hear me?
I can hear you. It's very clear from my end.
Okay, so let me continue. So the for us, the goal isn't just about, okay, fantastic, they say yes, it is. Okay, so the goal isn't just about starting another fashion business, but the goal for us is we want you to be able to run businesses that are sustainable and can easily scale, because we realize that a lot of fashion designers get into a limbo of, oh my god, I have great designs but I don't have the great customers and all of that. And for us, um, we didn't just want to make this Emerge is not about creating another set of fashion designers. Like, we want to create fashion designers that would be able to run sustainable businesses. So that's the goal, and that's the way we want every one of you to be thinking. I need you to change the way you have been thinking about fashion being just making glamorous clothes. The fashion industry is a glamorous industry, no doubt. But trust me, the people who are making the most of the money don't necessarily make so much of glamorous things. The guys who are in couture are not necessarily the richest guys. You see that the ones who are making so much money are the ones who are into the basic wares, and they're able to make it in large quantity, and they understand what their customers want. They understand what the customers want to wear. Nobody is wearing glamorous wears every day, but people get to have clothes that they even wear much more than they will wear those glam wears. So, for example, you have people get to wear night wears, right? People get to wear underwears. People get to wear normal casual wears that they just want to wear to the office, or just stay at home wears, comfy wears. There's just so many things that you can start to think about, or you need to start to think about differently. And for some of you, your consumer or your customer base might not necessarily be in Nigeria. You might be looking at a consumer base maybe somewhere around Mali. You might be looking at a consumer base um, around other countries in Africa, in Asia. Your focus might not even be like Nigerian companies, so to say. So I think it's important that you have that in view, because that's going to determine how successful emerge is going to be for you. And it is so critical you know that from the start. So, like, I totally believe that the journey of 1,000 miles starts in one day. And some of the things I need you guys to begin to think about is, I need you to start to see that the business of fashion isn't just about making clothes. Yes, making clothes is just one bit of it. Maybe it's just like a little bit of that puzzle. There's so many things that are involved in running a fashion business, and it requires you to have a sense of how to run a business. You need to know what are the you need to be able to commit 100%. You need to be able to think critically. You need to have management skills. You need to have social skills. You need to be able to compete, in the industry. You need to be able to have a lot of discipline. You need to understand what it takes to probably build a brand. There's just so much that you need to know. You need to be able to adapt. So being a fashion designer is much more than making clothes, is way much more. So you need to constantly be in that place where you're not just thinking about making beautiful clothes, but you're focused on the business. Is my beautiful clothes going to add up to make money for me? That is so important. So what we're going to do, because I don't want it to be like a monologue, I need you guys to be putting down for me. If I say something that resonates with you, I need you to type and put in the comment page, so that I'm sure you're following. And trust me, we're going to look at all the people who are following, because that's critical to we want 100% participation. This isn't something that is just on us. We need you guys to participate. So if I say anything that you think resonates well with you, I need you to just put it down on the chat page, because I'll be able to follow. And then if you have any questions, be quick to stop me. I would just quickly answer the questions and get on to the class. Okay, so one of the things we want you to also do is believe in your dream, but have a big dream, but start with taking small steps. I was careful to say that at the orientation, during the orientation, that it's so critical that you have a big dream. But I don't even want you to have dreams like, so I hear a lot of designers say stuff like, oh, I want to be the best couture designer, which is a fantastic dream, right? But trust me, I know a lot of best couturists who are not making money. They're just there and they're quite frustrated. So it shouldn't just be about, oh, I want to make beautiful clothes. Like, I want to run a fashion business that makes money and scales easily. I'm hoping that from one of you, we're going to get people who are going to start, a collection or a line of business that is going all over the globe. So we're hearing that, oh, this person, maybe, let me see who is here. Ijoma starts a ready-to-wear line, and she produces socks, and her socks is sold in all the H&M stores in the world. Those are the kind of testimonies I want to hear. Those are the kind of testimonials I want to hear. So it's not just about making beautiful clothes, like making clothes that the consumer wants, because people don't buy what you like as a producer. They buy what they want, what they need. So it has to really be a big need for them to be able to buy into it. So one of the goals for this training is to help you identify what a niche market is, and how you can specifically decide what niche you want to play in, what market do you want to play in. It's so important. So a niche market is a small subsector of the market of a specific demography, a product type, a particular price point, and a certain quality. Now, what that basically means is a niche market is just a small bit of a huge market. So when you're looking at market can be vast. So a market could be women at the age between the age of 30 to 40. That's a market. Now you might now say that as my niche, I'm focused on women that are 35 years old. You have that there's a big market, but you have now narrowed down your own market to just the women who are 35 years old, meaning that your product is only going to serve those women and every other woman who wants to identify as a 35-year-old. So she might be 30, but she feels, oh, because my friends are 35, I want to identify with women at that age. So it could also be based on product type. When you're looking at product type, it could be that, oh, I make jerseys, but my jerseys are different because my jerseys come with hoodies and then I have glitters on the hoodies, so it's a product type. It's a specialized kind of product. In some cases, it could be that I make beautiful caps out of ashoke fabric, or I make beautiful caps out of kente fabric. It's a product type. It is different from what is existing everywhere. Now, kente is existing everywhere, but the way you have interpreted your own kente is totally different from every other person who is in the market. It could be a particular price point. It could be that, oh, I make nightwears, but my nightwears are just 1,500 naira. They are sold for just 1,500 naira. They are sold for just $5. It could be price sensitive. So if you look at stores like Mr. Price, stores like Target, those particular stores, they are price sensitive. There's a particular price you don't find them going beyond. So maybe you go to like Mr. Price, for example. I don't know how much it is in Nigeria, but I know that in other countries they'll tell you that everything in that store does not exceed $9.99. So there's also a store called the $1 store. Everything in that store cannot be more than $1. So those kind of niche markets are specific to a price point. Now, in some cases, you will see that it's specific to quality, maybe a particular kind of quality. So if you're looking at quality, that's when you're looking at high grade kind of things. You're looking at people who do very expensive things, because now the value they are offering the client is based on quality. So it depends. Somebody says they can't hear. Can you guys hear me? Harry, can you hear me? So I know that it's not from my end.
Yes, I can hear you now.
Oh, okay, great then. Okay, so it could be based on a particular quality, but you get to define what the quality is, but you need to be sure that, you see, what is most important about niche markets is you need to be sure that there is a market. Because sometimes, because the business is in our head, we really don't take the time to really research that, does this market actually exist? Is there actually a problem? Am I thinking this just within me, or do people really have a need for my product? I can't just say, oh, I want to make shirts. What kind of shirts do people want? Because there's so many people who are making shirts. So the question is, I need to now go to a few people who actually use this shirt to ask them, what is your pain point when you're buying shirts? Or nightwears, for example. Okay, so today I had to take my daughter out. She's returning back to boarding house, and I had to take her out to buy stuff for school. And the lady was showing her the store we went to buy underwear. She kept showing her all the fanciful underwears, and my daughter just said to her, I said, Auntie, I don't want fancy, I want comfy. She said, because sometimes I'm out of my room in the morning like 6 a.m. and I don't return to my hostel till like 4 p.m. And if I buy fancy underwears, I'm just going to get burnt. Like, I'm going to really suffer. So I'm not looking for fancy, I'm looking for comfy. So you see, this kind of a consumer, she's not looking for fancy, but somebody who is just a newly married woman, she's looking for fancy. But this person, because she knows she has to wear her underwear for a long time, she's looking for comfy. So these are two different market niche. One is fancy, the other is comfy. So you need to really be sure, what exactly does my consumer need? What does my consumer want? The market I'm going to, what is their pain point? What do they struggle with? What do they want? They want pants, but they don't just want any kind of pants. So you need to find out, what does this person really want. So it's important you know what your niche is, because I mean, it's crazy for you to be, there's that saying of jack of all trade, master of none. And that's what a lot of people do. I'm doing wedding dresses, and I'm also doing party dresses, and I'm also doing this, I'm also doing that. At the end of the day, you even confuse the consumer. I know of a brand, a lady who is in Lagos. My friend used to sew with her because my friend is tall, slim, and she loves to wear jumpsuits because it's just easy for her to wear jumpsuits. And she was telling me about her tailor, and the only thing that lady does is jumpsuits. Even if you told her to do you a pants, because she can do jumpsuits so well. My friend told me that she was not telling her that, okay, make me pants now, make me like office pants and all that. The lady said, no, I don't do pants. If you want pants, I can show you where to go. The only thing I do is jumpsuits. If you don't want jumpsuits, bye. I'm done. Like, we are not doing business. So I think that is so critical. You need to find out, what is that one thing I want to master. In some cases, I won't say, because for people who are coming up, upcoming designers, I won't say now, say, oh, that's one thing I want to master is jumpsuits. So if I get opportunities to sew blouses, I will not take it. This is what I will say. Rather, I will say, take those opportunities to do those blouses, but make sure it does not steal your time invested into doing your major. You must focus on your major and play a little bit with your minor. So you must know that my major is this, and that's the only thing I'm going to project. That's the only thing my brand is going to project. In fact, I might be making jumpsuits and have to make tops. Yet I will not put those tops on my Instagram handle. I won't put it on my website, because that's my minor. That's a side hustle. It's not my major. It's not the major thing I want to be known for. So you must always keep your major in view. I think that's critical. So some of the common ways to identify your niche could be based on price. We had said that a little bit. It could be based on price. It could be based on demography. So when we're looking at price, are you sent to the luxury consumer, or you're looking at moderate prices, or you're looking at discount prices? There are some businesses that thrive on discounts, so that could be your own business model. You could be looking at demography. I gave us an example of demography, and I said, for example, you might be making clothes for women who are 35 years of age. Or you could say, oh, I'm making clothes for 25-year-olds, and this is their age, these are their behaviors, this is the way they behave, this is what they're doing, this is the stage of their life. They are probably just coming out of school, and they're crossing from being students to becoming workers. So at that point, it's a really critical point, because they're trying to identify who they are. They're trying to find themselves, discover themselves. So the way you're even going to design their clothes is going to be different. So it could be based on demography. So then you're looking at age, you're looking at gender, you're looking at their income, you're looking at educational level. Are they market women? If you are sent to the market woman, maybe you are sent to Yoruba market women. Yoruba market women always wear Iran buba or kaftan, because they need to be comfortable. They're doing a whole lot of things. Sometimes, maybe imagine a market woman who has a warehouse that sells rice. She needs to be able to move easily. So if you're making something, maybe a pencil dress that she cannot walk in, she's wondering, is this person really thinking well at all? So it's important that you look at the behavior or the characteristics of that consumer, and make clothes or products that can fit into that particular consumer. So some of the things you'll be looking at is the level of quality. Are they going to be premium? Are they handmade? Are they economical? Are they mass produced? Right? So you want to look at the level of quality, because that's going to inform who your consumer is. It's going to inform how you even want to reach your consumer. It's going to inform how your marketing is going to be done. The way the marketing of a premium brand is done is different from the way the marketing of a luxury brand is done, and is also different from the way the marketing of a mass market will be done. So you have to look at all of those things in deciding what niche you want to function in. You also look at the values, the interests and attitudes of the person. You're looking at also the residents. Where do they reside? So if my consumer, for example, resides in Canada, remember Canada is really cold. So it's going to affect the kind of fabric you're going to use to make their garments. So if, for example, you want to work with Ankara, you will know that because Canada is cold, I'm going to be making styles that can fit into their cold weather. I'm probably even going to use mixed leather and Ankara together. Why? Because leather is going to give that warmth. Ankara is going to give the style and the African ethnic feel to it, which makes a great product. Because someone who lives in Canada, a Nigerian who lives in Canada will love it, because now it keeps me warm. It doesn't only keep me warm, but I also get that feel of, Africa in it. I get that ethnic feel, So I think those are things you want to be looking at. Okay, so someone has a question. What if your minor is giving you more money? What if your minor, then you should not make your minor your major. If your minor is giving you more money, I need to understand the question though. But if your minor is giving you more money than your major, you need to now make your minor your major, because obviously you have a wrong major. But it depends. I have to understand that context, because I always don't like to answer questions without understanding the context. I think that's important. So it would be great if you can put your context there, so that I'll be able to answer the question properly. Okay, so Bill Cosby says that I don't want to know the key to success, but I want to know that the key to failure is trying to please everyone. So, that's that thing I just said to you, that the key to failure is you're trying to please everyone. You can't please everyone. That's something you have to know. So you have to understand what market you want to serve and focus on serving that market. Because what that does for you is that it makes you a master in that field. It just takes a little bit of time. Just give it some time. And that's one of the major things you guys have to know about business. You see, business requires consistency. Consistency on the same course, no matter how long it takes you, especially if you have the right counsel, you have the right team, you're sure that your vision has a market for it. Just stay consistent there and see what is going to happen to you in a few years. Sometimes a lot of people give up too soon on their dream. They give up too soon. And the funny thing is, a lot of times you are this close to the fulfillment of your dream, but because you're not patient to wait it out, you just realize that you gave up on your dream just at the break of the dawn. So it's important that you must learn consistency. You must learn tenacity to stay on that course until you get the desired results. You must learn that, because that is so important. So the benefits of choosing a niche market is, one, it helps you stand out. It helps you stand out because now you have a unique product and you have a great value proposition. So you're able to identify, oh, this is who I am. Your customers understand that this is who my client is. This is what they do. They understand the value you're offering. They know what you are not offering. So they wouldn't even bother coming to you on what you're not offering. But the good thing is, when you are offering one thing so well, when you decide to start offering something else, it is easy for people to now want to come to you to say, hey, because you can do jumpsuits so well, I can trust you with my pants. Because I know that if you could do jumpsuits so well, you can now do pants. So when you're ready to release your pants, it's easy for people to buy into you because you've been able to get that market of doing jumpsuits well. You've been able to attract them. You've been able to attract that consumer. So you realize that, oh my God, when I'm releasing my pants lines, everybody's just going to come running towards it. Why? Because they already know that I have mastered the art of doing jumpsuits. And that's why a lot of these big brands can do so many things. Now, the truth is this, a lot of them did not start doing all the things they are doing right now. A lot of them started on one niche market. A lot of them started on making just shirts. Some of them started on making just polos, but now they do scarves, they do key holders, they do sunwears, they do ties. For example, Tom Ford started with making ties. Now he's doing so many other things. Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, okay, great. So now he's doing so many other things, which makes it great. So I think that's great. Okay, so before I go on to the next one, let me just look through the chat so that I can answer and I don't pad it. So Ifoma says a fashion brand that deals both on clothes, jewelry, shoes, bags. Will you say that brand doesn't have a niche? Well, I would say that it depends. If this brand is a boutique, right? Fantastic. I wouldn't say that they don't have a niche. Their niche might be that like I said to you earlier. So let me explain. So guys, my device is running out and I need to plug it. Just 1 second. So can you hear me? Can you guys hear me? Oh,
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, okay, great then. So, like I said earlier, I said that the niche market can be identified based on different things. It could be price point. It could be that you're focused on demographics, maybe age, a particular age. So it could be that I'm starting a boutique or an online store that sells to babies between the age of 0 to 24 years to 24 months. That's a niche market. A niche market could also be that I'm selling dresses to or shirts to little boys between the age of um, 0 to 5 years, 5 year olds. That's a niche market. So niche market might not necessarily be that I want to answer well. It might not necessarily be that you're doing just one product line, but you could be doing several product lines, but it depends on the business. Now, if you are a fashion designer or a fashion, I don't know what to call you now. Maybe you run a fashion, you have your own collection or your own fashion line or your own fashion brand. I will always say start with one niche, start with one particular um demography or start with a particular price point. Don't do too many because it can be a bit confusing. So I would say do clothes and do shoes and at the same time. How are you going to produce all of this? Especially if you're producing your own things. If you are a retail store, fantastic. You can do so many things, but make sure you know. So a retail store, for example, can be price sensitive. Their niche might be based on price. They might say that everything we sell in our store is between 5,000 to 10,000. We don't do less than that. We don't do more than that. So it is a niche market. So everybody who wants to buy clothes between the price of 5,000 to 10,000 can always come and shop from us, right? That's a niche market. I hope I explained it well to you, Jama. But if you're looking at, oh, I want to produce my own things, I would say start from one thing. Build trust on one product. Then you can now scale into other products. When you're able to convince people on one product, it's easy to now say to them, oh, you can do many other products. So I think that's important for Ijoma. I hope I answered your question. Let me know if I did answer your question. Precious says that Ma, you said that as a newbie in the industry while working on a major thing we want to do, we can still do something on side hustle. So the question is if that side hustle is actually giving me more money than my major. If your side hustle is giving you more money than your Precious Okoli, is your side hustle still in fashion? That's the question I'll ask. If yes, your side hustle is still fashion. Say, let me give you an example. Maybe you're making clothes for women, right? You're making party wears for women, and your side hustle is to make clothes for children, and you realize that you're getting more orders for children's wear. I think you need to you need to switch your major to children's wear and make the women's wear your side hustle. I hope that answered the question for Precious. If that answered the question, that's great. But if it didn't, maybe you need to clarify a little more to me. So I think I got the questions. So we can just move on with the class. If I did not, then let me know. So some of the benefits also for choosing a niche market is that you have less competition, your price point is higher, especially. Oh, Precious says it's not fashion related. Okay, so then that means we will need to talk about that. If we need to know why your side hustle is giving you more money. So let me give you an example. For me right now, what I would call my side hustle, right, is giving me more money than my major. My major is A plus. But because I understand that A plus is in a process, so what I expect from A plus, I mean, A plus is like a baby. We're just probably two, maybe 2 years or 3 years. We're going on to 3 years. And I cannot, there are certain things I don't expect from a 3-year-old that if I had a 10-year-old, there are certain expectations I'm going to have from it. So I'm not expecting, so I need to understand your question, Precious. Maybe you have to ask me, we'll have to talk about this personally, privately or something. But if, for example, no, for me right now, my side hustle is giving me more money. So what I mean by my side hustle giving me more money is that I have investments, right, that give me money that I can easily pull off my investments to fund my baby, which is A plus, right? So I wouldn't say that because my investments is giving me money, I shut down on A plus, because I understand that I'm building A plus, and A plus is in a transitioning stage. I am patient to do the work to build it. I don't know if that is clear, Precious. So you need to understand my major. Why is my major not giving me as much money? How can I make it start giving me as much? Is it because of the stage of my business? Is that why my major isn't giving me much money yet? So if that's the case, then you need to keep going and hope that your major will start to bring in more money than your side hustle. Precious, did I answer you? Let me get a yes so that we can move on to the next. I don't know if she's here. Precious, can you quickly answer us if you are here? Okay, so let's just keep going. Okay, she said yes, you did. Okay, great then. Okay, so another thing benefit is that it helps your marketing easier. It helps you get, like I said earlier, strong markets, loyalty. People are able to build trust. You're able to build credibility because they know that, oh, she does jumpsuit so well. So everyone's going to just keep talking about it. Oh my God, have you seen that Precious? Man, if Precious makes a jumpsuit for you, it will be amazing. It will fit. It will be perfect, right? They'll keep talking about it. You can let the tempo rise. By the time that tempo rises, when you now introduce something new, it is easy for them to buy into it because they've already trusted you with something before, which is jumpsuits. So that is how you build customer trust and loyalty and credibility. It also helps you sell well from the start. Why? Because you have narrowed down. I make white shirts for women, or I make dress shirts. Now, every woman who wants a dress shirt, she knows where to find you. She knows that you don't make other things. She knows that the only thing you make is dress shirts. So by the time they start wearing your dress shirt, they go, oh, there's this lady. She knows how to make very nice dress shirts, right? So you need to start to think about that, because it helps you sell well from the start. It helps you carve a niche for yourself. It helps you identify your customer, and it helps your customer identify you easily. It helps with better search and visibility, which is what I just said. It helps your customer identify you easily, because everybody who's looking for a dress shirt, they know who to go to. They know that, oh, if I go to Precious has beautiful dress shirts, and I can wear comfy dress shirts to the office because my office or my job allows for that flexibility. Right? It also helps with lower costs in advertising, because you're niche centered, and people, the thing about, have you ever seen something you need so bad and you saw somebody had it? Your first question is, oh my God, where did you get this thing? I've been looking for how to get it. That's the thing about niche, because people will now start to refer, especially if your product is very special. If it's an offering that is very special and not easy to find, people will always find you. If it's something that a lot of people need and they can't find easily, they will always look for you when they see it on other people. So that way your product is marketing itself, which is why you need to know the niche. Wow. So we have a lot of, I'm just looking at the slide. Okay, so let's look at some examples. So we see hip hop dads niche. It's a bad dads club. Basically, was founded by Kobe, and he just basically wanted to make creative, beautiful, nice looking polos for dads. And he just basically has polos that has the bad dad club, and the target was those who loved motorcycles and tattoos. So he made he made them in such a way that, I mean, they're t-shirts, and people would want to look at those comfortable t-shirts, wear it on a bike, and they're looking great. So let's quickly look at Spanx, Sarah Breckley. I'm sure quite a lot of you know her. She basically one night wanted to wear something pretty, but she found it really difficult. I'm sure a lot of you have heard the story, but she found it really difficult finding underwears that would flatter her. So she basically just decided that, okay, you know what, if I can't find this thing, can I just make them? And that was just basically how she exploded, and she continued, and she was consistent. I've listened to her story. Probably she's one of the persons we're going to review, how she doesn't even know how to sew, and that's what amazes me about a lot of Nigerians, where you're killing yourself to go and sit down and sew. When you can do businesses that you don't have to even know how to sew. And she's one of the richest women in fashion. If not even like the richest, I'll probably check. She's most likely the richest woman in fashion. So I think it's so important that you need to start to think differently about the way you're thinking about your fashion business. Because this is one woman who just saw a problem and she basically just dived into it. I don't know how many of you have seen Kim Kardashian right now. Kim Kardashian too is now doing underwears. She's doing underwears for black skinned people. She's riding on the story of the Black Lives Matter to do underwears, and she's practically just pushing it and pushing the campaign. She's making underwears for pregnant women, which I thought was really smart, because really, who do you actually think about it? Like, who makes underwears for pregnant women. When I saw her put it up, I'm like, oh my God, this girl is just so smart. I'm sure because she's been a mother of three, she realized that, oh my God, it was so hard to find. Actually, I was just thinking about it. It was really hard when I was pregnant to find the right underwears to wear, especially when you wanted to wear like a nice fit dress and you just couldn't find the right underwear that would be comfortable for you to wear, because pregnancy is so uncomfortable. So it had to be really comfortable. And when I was looking through, what she was offering, it was great because I just thought, oh, this girl is so smart, to do underwears for pregnant people. I don't know about others, but she's one of the maybe known persons that is doing that right now. And I'm sure a lot of people are going to dive into it. So I think okay, somebody asked the question, Kenneth Ma, should we select our niche based on the dress and design? We do so much better on, or based on the size of the. So okay, so yeah, if you do, you think, okay, so it depends on you, right? So if you do a dress, this is the way I think about it. If I'm doing a dress and I have a small market for it, remember that because that's my passion, I'll always be called, my passion will always call me back, right? But it will be frustrating if I'm doing a dress and the market niche is so small and I'm not making money off it. I have bills to pay. I probably have staff to pay salaries to. You need to think about it really. How am I going to do this? It's either you have a team of people who understand the vision and are willing to pay the price to see that vision come alive, or you find a way of merging both. But I don't think you should base it first. Priorities first shouldn't even be your passion, because there are many things we are passionate about that might not be bankable. So I particularly have a passion for resellable value. But right now, I know that this is not a good time to release that passion. So my main collection, I have been keeping things, I've been writing about it, my major collection. I can't release it now because it will be such a wrong time. So there's some parts of your dream that you need to wait it out. You need to do other things. So it's like saying the goal behind the goal. There is a goal for later. Oh, this is my big major thing that I want to do. But I want to start with my small goals so that my small goals can help me achieve my big goals. So I'll first say, it says my sound is not good. Harry, can you testify that my sound is not good?
Your sound is good, man.
Oh, my sound is good. Okay.
Yes. And ma'am, please can we leave the questions till after you're done presenting so that I can pick a handful and answer it?
Can we leave?
The questions until when you're done presenting so that we can pick a handful and answer.
Okay. Okay then. That's fine. Okay, so I'll continue. So we have let me finish off with this guy's question, Kenneth's question. So I think, Kenneth, you can, I would say that you should focus on the market, not so much of what you're good at, because sometimes you're good at something, but there's no existing market for it. So I would say focus first on the market and work your way from there. I probably would explain further if you need me to clarify. So let's move on, Harry. So curvy women, for example, started to make clothes because she was curvy at some point, and she just thought that, okay, I want to make clothes for women who are when they say curvy, they practically mean that big size women, plump size women who want to wear comfy wears, but don't probably find it easily to get. So that was basically how she started. And to be honest, her stuff are actually really comfortable because I have a shirt in her from her collection I bought once I traveled, and it's beautiful. So, for example, linen apron. This particular person decided that okay, she wants to make super lightweight aprons that were comfortable, uh, and she it was easy for people to be able to wrap around them cooking. So, like I said earlier, I think I mentioned it when you guys came for the orientation. I said how that don't just be focused on making clothes alone. There are lots of other aspects of the business of tailoring that other people aren't looking at. For example, aprons. Which Nigerian do you know is making aprons, right? It could be other things. It could be scarves. There's a girl right now in Abuja that I know makes silk scarves, and she's selling big time because a lot of these Muslim girls really wants really beautiful scarves. And basically, what she just did, because we have a friend in common, basically what she just did was she looked for a factory in Italy who will be producing her own print scarves. So she basically designs the print, she sends it to the factory, they make her prints, and then they send it back to her, and she's selling like mad because they're so unique, they're so nice, they're so easy, they're very comfy, and they're beautiful. So I think that's also it's a good one. So how do I identify my niche? How do I find what markets to work in? So your goal is you want to be a big fish in. Ask yourself that question: Who am I? A big fish in a small pond, or do I rather be a small fish in a big pond? So it depends on where you think you want to fall, but you are rather off being find that thing that makes you special, that makes you different from everybody that is existing. That's one thing. How am I going to be different? What is going to differentiate me from every other person that exists? Is it my cutting? Is it the way my garment is made? Is it the way um is it the way I want to present my products? It could be little minute things, but you need to change. You need to find an identity for your products. Your product has to have an identity on its own. It should be that, oh, it's the same shirt, but the way it is presented or the way it is sold is different from every other person. So some of the questions you want to ask yourself are: what are your passions? What are your interests? What are you interested in? What are your skills? So that takes us back to, I think it was Kenneth that was asking the question, if you should be focused on what you can do or you want to be focused on the market. I would say both, but sometimes both might be directly opposed, right? So if they are directly opposed, you want to also look at what is there a market for, because if there's a market for something right now, those are the things that can translate to quick cash, right? So you realize that I can quickly use this, like I said, the goal behind the goal. I can quickly use this to fund my bigger passions or the major things I want to do. So here, Ralph says that passion rebuilds the world for the youth and it makes all things alive and significant. Very true. But in as much as that is so true, it's also important that you're sure that you're passionate in the right direction. And that's important. So ask yourself a few questions. What are your hobbies? What do you like to do? What do you like to spend a lot of time doing? If, for example, you're someone who loves to create, you love to sit on the machine to sew, make sure that whatever you're doing is something that always takes you to the machine. Now, you might be focusing on the business of it, but you also need to be sure that, oh, because I'm a creative person, I like to hold the needle and thread and see the process of creation. Then that kind of a person might say, okay, this is what my niche is about. I want to make embellished Ankara skirts. So because I'm making embellished Ankara skirts, I might have the staff to pull it through, but I want to be the one embellishing every bit of it. So your niche might even be that, oh, I'm making embellished Ankara skirts and I video the way those things are made. And I show so much love in creating those things. somebody, maybe Nigerians are not freaked about that, but somebody is going to see that video and is going to love, the fact that, oh my God, she pours out so much love in the way she makes those garments. That is important. I have a tailor that makes my clothes, and every time I'm with her, we end up spending maybe sometimes 2 hours. I leave there feeling bad that, oh my God, I spent so much time. But I love the way she talks about her creations. I love the way she takes me around her store and she shows me, oh my God, I saw this. Do you know it was a waste raw material in my house? I was driving out of my house and I saw it and I brought it and I remodeled it. So she's not only making clothes right now, she has started doing interiors. Why? Because she's taking scrap and making scrap new again. So I think that is so important. But that's her passion. But she didn't start from there because at that time she needed money to establish. So she started from the part that wasn't so much of her passion. So right now she's now going into her passion, and her passion is taking scrap and remodeling scrap into very beautiful interiors. And I've seen some of her pieces. Some of her pieces go as much as, I'm sure you guys will know her color crafts. Some of her pieces, there was one wall thing she showed me that was as much as 350K. That was what she was selling it for. But you see, she can afford to put it in her store now. But her major right now is those clothes. Her minor is this passion that she's doing, that she's passionate about. Because those minor, which is the interior remodeling things she's doing, doesn't sell all the time. But what sustains her business is the clothes, and she doesn't know how to sew, right? So you need to think that, and that's why I'm saying you need to think about this entire thing so well. Because there are some things you need to do. Sometimes you might not even enjoy it, right? But you need to do it because you need the money that comes from it to fuel the major thing. But trust me, that's not what Emerge is about. Emerge is first about you finding that one unique business that is going to help you scale the business easily, because that's why you're going to win Emerge. That's why you're going to be listed amongst those who will be trained around business, who will be trained on product development and illustration and all of that. It will be based on how scalable. And when I say the word scale, so that it doesn't sound like I'm speaking a language that you guys don't understand. Scale means that business can be multiplied or can be reproduced in another place. So let me give you an example. You make socks, right? With your socks, you can sell your socks anywhere in the world because it's ready to wear. But if you're doing made to measure, it's difficult to scale because you need to meet with your customer for them to be able to work with you. Now, you might make clothes. I've made clothes for people who live in the US and we didn't have a lot of issues. But there are times when you make clothes for those that distance and they have issues. And usually made to measure, they expect it to fit perfectly. If it doesn't fit perfectly, they will return it. I've actually had somebody that I made clothes for. I made a box of clothes for her and she returned some. She took the pains of paying the money to return it for me to fix it, and I sent it back to her. So those, and you can imagine the time that has been wasted and all of that. In fact, by the time the clothes got to me, the tailors who made the clothes were not the tailors who were adjusting, and I now had to pay these new tailors to do the adjustment again. So all of those things are things that make made to measure a little difficult to be able to get it done. Okay, I'm almost done with the slides now. So let me just quickly run through this. I'm just going to probably read through. Okay, so passion and interest. You need to, your passion makes your work easier. It lightens the pressure that comes with the new responsibility. Passion keeps you on track and it keeps you motivated, which is true. And sometimes it's not because that's what you're currently doing, but because what you're currently doing is going to get you faster to your passion. So, and that's the same way it is for me. What I'm doing currently is going to get me closer to my major passion, right? So I know that it is a goal behind the goal, right? So I think that's also important. And then you'll be able to communicate it authentically and know your customers' language. Now, some for the values, you need to also look at the values. What is your value? What do you want your value to be? What do you want the consumers to know you as? Who should you be? So you need to state some of those values. Are you looking at sustainability? Are you looking at inclusivity? What exactly are you looking at in terms of value? Are you looking at the service, the way how am I going to serve my consumer? Are you looking at community? Maybe you want to build a community. Maybe you're even making clothes for widows, right? That's sort of sustainability, and it's at the same time looking at inclusivity, and then you're also creating a community. So maybe you're saying, okay, I'm making clothes for widows, so I'm making clothes for widows so that it can be affordable, because now they're widows, they've lost their husbands, they probably don't have enough resources, but I'm going to make them clothes that will be beautiful but so affordable for them. You're building a community, and you can now say, okay, because I'm making those clothes for them, I'll now be doing talks. I'll be doing programs where we're talking to widows, teaching them what to do. Now you're a widow, what do you do from here? How do you raise your children? How does a single mom raise her children? It might be something like that. You might be building a community. It might be that your value is honesty, innovation. You decide what it is for you. I think that's based on a particular, it could be that you want to create an impact, right? So you decide what your value is, but you need to first find out, what is my value? What is my passion? What is my value? And then the third thing is, what is the target consumer's pain points? What is the target consumer's pain points? So who is my consumer? Ask that question. Who is my consumer? How old are they? Where do they live? Where do they go? What do they prefer? What kind of phone do they use? Do they use iPhones? Do they use Android? What social media platform are they on? Maybe I'm focused on maybe age 30 to 40, or maybe I'm even focused on grandmas. Maybe I have my grandma and I see how my grandma struggles with her clothes, and I want to solve the problem for all grandmas, right? So that might even be what I'm doing. But you need to now sit down and ask those questions. What problems do grandmas have? At their age, they are looking for comfort, right? So you need to ask those questions. What possible solutions can I offer? So when I identify who my consumer is, you shouldn't identify who the consumer is. You first identify the problem you want to solve. When you identify the problem you want to solve, you find who the consumer is, break down who your target consumer is, and then you can now ask, what is the solution? What solution can I offer? Maybe the problem is, my cousin is really busty and she finds it difficult to find the right shirts to wear. So I now know that that's who she is. Now the question is, who are those other people who are in that circle? What's their age? Right? What do they like to wear? Do they prefer to wear shirts? Do they prefer to wear polos? Do they prefer to wear dresses? So you ask all of those questions, because that's going to help you. That's going to keep you informed. So you might even want to do a research and ask all the busty ladies. Why? Because you want to start making something for busty women. So they now tell you that, oh, I prefer to wear shirts, so, but I never find shirts. So my go-to thing is polos. So you now realize that, oh, everybody who is busty loves to wear shirts, but because they never find the right shirt to fit their size or to fit their structure, the next choice is polo. So that's okay. So I want to start making shirts that will fit these busty ladies. And you can say, okay, so if I make you 5 shirts that will fit you, would you be willing to buy? And then she goes, yes, why not? I've been looking for it. So those are all the that's the way to find those things. So I already spoke about the target consumer profile. So you're looking at their gender, you're looking at their age, you're looking at demography, you're looking at culture, right? You're looking at values. And why culture is important is, if, for example, your target audience is in Asia, no, not Asia, in Middle East, for example, you know that these people use hijab a lot. So you might want to say, okay, I'm making polos for Middle East women, but I want to add an hijab to it. It just makes so much sense because they now know that, oh my God, I'm going to get a really nice, but it comes along with an hijab. So you've solved two problems for that consumer. So those are some of the things you want to look at. And in some cases, some cultures, if you're working with culture, for example, some cultures forbid wearing black because black is a mourning color for them. So if you know that, oh, this culture, black is mourning for them, you might not want to have black in your collection. You might not want to have that color in your collection. Those are some of the things you need to look at when it comes to culture. In some cases, some cultures, they forbid certain prints or certain animals. So if you now have a particular animal on it, it is yuck for the person. So those are some of the things you also want to look at. You look at their shopping behavior, look at their lifestyle, what brands do they buy? Okay. So I also spoke about market research. You need to know who your competitors are, who are those that are doing the same thing that you want to do, that you're already doing. You might even sometimes it might even be bigger firms. You might want to study them very well and understand how they're doing it, because that's an easy way for you to do your market research. So you also want to know the price ranges. You want to understand what style do these people want to wear. You really want to find out what exactly does this consumer want, because you don't want to be guessing. And a lot of times, a lot of us start business guessing. We're trying to figure it out. And one of the easiest ways, right? It depends though on what market you're looking at. But let's say if you're looking at like a global market, one of the ways to do a niche market survey is go to places like Amazon or Shopify and see what are people really buying. So you could say maybe, okay, I'm doing shirts, right? Now go there and go to the catalog where they have shirts and find out what shirt sold the most and why. So, for example, you find a particular brand, oh, this brand has sold over 3 million pieces of this shirt. Why did they sell over 3 million pieces of this shirt? There is a reason why everybody is buying. Is it because of the price? Is it because of the kind of cotton? Why are people buying this particular thing? That's one of the ways, to do your market research. Also look at fabrics, look at quality. Remember that the entire shopping experience is not just about the products. It's about a whole lot of things. People aren't just buying the product. Some people buy convenience. How convenient is it for me to get the product? So people are buying into many things. So you need to think about all of those things. It's not about, oh, I have a beautiful dress. No, it's not about that. People don't just buy beautiful dresses. People buy much more than beautiful dresses. Some people buy price. Some people buy into the convenience. Some people buy packaging. So there was a time I had to buy a gift for someone, and I was looking for a gift that looked so presentable. So even if I saw a bag, I didn't care about the bag, even though I knew I wanted to buy a bag, but I wanted to buy a bag that had a nice pack and had a nice packaging. So for me at that time, focus wasn't the bag. I wasn't looking out for the quality of the bag like I was looking out for. Okay, let me give you an example. I wanted to buy a perfume for someone some months ago who had her birthday. And I told the lady who, she was like, hey, buy this one, it's the latest one. When she showed me the price, I said, Auntie, I'm not looking for price. See, find me a perfume. The bottle inside it might be small, but make sure the package is big. Why? Because I didn't want to just go to her giving her a small bottle of perfume. Even though the bottle of perfume she was telling me to buy was the same bottle, the same milligram I still ended up buying. But this other um perfume was a bigger package, so it looked really big. By the time she wrapped it, it looked like, oh my God, I bought a big perfume, but not necessarily. So those are some of the things you need to really, really think about, and that's why it's critical for you to do, all of those things. So you need to do a market scan, go through physical stores, ask questions. What are people buying? Why are people buying what they are buying? You need to do all of those things. You need to also know that preparation is key. It is important that you give time into preparing yourself for your brand. You need to give that time. So give time, to sharpen the axe. The sharper your axe, the easier you're able to cut down the tree. The duller the axe, the more difficult it is for you to cut down the tree. So that's important. So number 6 is you test the idea, which is what we're going to do when you guys come up with your prototype. We're going to test the idea. We're going to go into the market, see, and you keep tweaking. When you go back, you send the idea to them. You show it to people, let them try it out, get feedback, go back and implement that feedback and come back again and say, okay, can you test it now? Is it better now? So for those of us who are doing made to measure, we get angry when our customers say, oh, this thing doesn't fit right. If your customers say it is not right, it is not right. It's not about what you think. If your customer says it is not right, it is not right. So it is time for you to now sit back and ask, why is it not right? What could I have done differently? And they will now tell you, oh, okay, maybe you should have made it a bit freer here. It would have probably felt more comfortable. So it's important that you understand that feedback is important for you to improve. So when they're giving you feedback, don't be feeling bad that, oh my God, this person just wanted to make me horrible. She's just so difficult. No, it's time for you to listen and implement the feedback, because that's even the way you're going to build loyalty with that particular customer. So it's important that you start small, start with a small collection and now grow bigger. So thank you guys. We started a little late, but I think we're done now. So questions. So someone asked a question. Let me quickly take some of the questions. So someone asked a question, Ma, would one scale through when the country infrastructure is poor, e.g. high cost and quality internet, lack of power supply? Yeah, so I know that sometimes it's difficult because we have an irresponsible government. But the truth is this: I've just learned how to leave past excuses and make the best out of the resources that is available to me. The truth is, a lot of times, the things we probably see as luxury, in some other countries, it's not, right? And in some other countries, what they see as luxury, to us, it's not. So I think that we can't keep playing the blame game. The truth is, there are people who are in this type of system and are still finding ways to make it happen. So your goal is you keep pushing. One day you're going to hit the rock and the water is going to come flowing down. So I would say that because you now leave it on the costs are high, internet is expensive. Right now you're in Nigeria, so deal with it. Love being here. If you can get out, okay. Even though I don't push for that. But I mean, make do with what is available to you now, and find ways to achieve your dream despite and in spite what is going on. That's what I would say to you. I understand the difficulty in even logistics. I understand all the challenges that people face. I won't say that there are no challenges, but the truth is there are people who are doing these things even in the middle of these challenges. If they can do it, you can do it. If one person can do it, it cancels all your excuses. So rather than stay in and see all the things that are not working, see the things that are working. So some of the things that are working is labor is cheap to a large extent in Nigeria compared to other places. I mean, I've been to a few countries in the world and I know how expensive it is, how expensive labor is in those countries. So enjoy the ride. And this is even the best time for a lot of you to start doing exports business. I don't know if you guys have heard about ECC, but if you haven't, go to my page. My page on Instagram is ireolua.shreton. Harry will probably post it here. I did a video post today. Go and sign up for it. You have no business not signing up. A lot of you need to get into exporting. This is the best time to export. Why? Dollar is high right now. So this is that time you need to plug into exporting. So it is so important that you get into that activity and make sure that you're doing great at it. So I'm going to share my handle so that you guys go there and see the video I'm referring to, and go and sign up for it, because I mean, it's free now to join, but very soon there's going to be a fee. So you want to quickly join now so that when the fee comes, you're already a member, right? So that's me on IG. Oh, okay. So I don't know what happened. It just flung me out. Okay, so I think we can call it a day. Harry is gonna probably post. Harry, are you here? Can you guys hear me?
Hello, ma'am.
Okay. So I was saying that for those of them who would like to join ECA, I think we should probably give them the link so that they can register and sign up for it.
Okay, ma'am. I'll,
Yeah. All right. So
I'll
thank
include
you
that in the
guys
mail.
so much. Hmm?
I'll include that in the mail that I'll send to them briefly.
Okay, great. Okay, so thank you guys so much. I'm sure that we don't have any questions. We will keep you guys updated. So what we need you to do now is we're going to give you a week for you guys to go back and rethink what your business proposition is going to be. You're all going to come back to the academy to pitch your business to the judges, and the judges are going to select 20 businesses to move forward. So I need all of you to go back, think through your niche. What is your niche going to be? What business idea do you want to propose for the emerge? And then we will announce the dates for selection. You're going to come pitch your business, because the training is also focused on your business niche. We're going to trace. So, for example, if what you're saying is, I want to make aprons, right? That's where your training is going to be